Hey folks, today we are talking everybody's favorite muscle group. We got bicep training, right? There we go, bicep shot. Bicep training on suspension trainers. And I gotta give a shout out to my guys over at Monkey Bar. These things are some of the best suspension trainers you can pick up, and they're awesome for curls for a number of reasons. Number one is just how comfortably they fit in the hand. It's not like rubber that's gonna get all sticky and tacky, but more importantly, they've got this really nice machined aluminum core that goes all the way through the handle with a very smooth lip. I know you can't quite see it very well, but this is very important for your curls because when you're doing these curls, you want a handle that's gonna allow easy rotation in your hand in relation to the straps and everything else. A lot of other suspension trainers, they've got friction between it. Even if it's a little friction, it's going to make an impact in how easily you can curl and how much tension's going in the muscle. This is also why I prefer suspension straps over gymnastics rings, which don't have really much of rotation at all. Right now, you can check out their Kickstarter, the 40% off. I'll put a link down below for the Monkey Bars too. So let's talk about the exercises. Number one is we got what I call the scooping curl. The scooping curls, you're leaning back, the handles are out in front of you, and when you curl the handles, you're curling them up towards your temple or your eyes, and I call it a scooping curl because you want to imagine you're scooping your hand upwards, kind of like you're trying to graze your knuckles against the ceiling up above you. The other cue I give my clients is imagine you're trying to drive your elbows up and forward, like you're trying to elbow someone in the chin. What this does is it creates a large degree of tension in the biceps by keeping the movement incredibly strict. Even if the elbow itself doesn't technically move anywhere, a lot of times when people do curls on suspension trainers, the elbow drops down maybe an inch or two, which compromises the tension going into the bicep muscle. The second curl that we have is the opposite. Instead of trying to drive things upwards, we're gonna purposely drive the elbow downwards. Only we're not gonna quite do this as if you were doing like a row. You're gonna drop the elbow straight down in the attempt of pulling the hand straight into your chest. This is often referred to as a clutch curl. In the clutch curl, it's like you're clutching your hand to your chest. It's still critical that you keep your elbow in front of your body. If your elbow starts passing behind your center line, it turns into a row and your back is much more engaged. Keep your elbow slightly in front of your body, but allow it to go down, and your hand goes in a direct straight line into your chest. Hold and then return. This exercise has a large degree of tension in the bicep throughout the entire range of motion. The scooping curl is kind of a little bit like a free weight curl where you lose some of the resistance towards the top of the motion. The clutch curl, it's super high-end tension throughout the whole thing. And then the third exercise is kind of a combination of the two. It's a style of clutch curl, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the anchor points and spread them wide apart, about 4 feet or so. This gives us a natural hanging position where the hands are apart, as is the arms. As you curl yourself in, clutching your hands towards your chest, pulling things in towards your center line. This gives you resistance in more directions than just straight up, but also inwards, and even with a little bit of rotation. So you're bringing more tension into the bicep muscle as a whole, as well as your forearms and some of the connective tissues there. With all of these exercises, it's critical to note that these are still technically pull-ups. You're still keeping your back tight, your shoulders tight, and all of the other pulling up muscles engaged as much as possible. Just because it's focused on the bicep doesn't mean the bicep's the only muscle involved. The more you involve your back and keep it isometrically contracted, the stricter your technique's gonna be, and the more tension you're gonna get into your bicep. Let me know if you have questions down below. I'll put a sample routine down below as well. Don't forget, check out the Monkey Bar Kickstarter and get them off 40% off. Till then, be fit, live free.